Welcome to Microsoft Community Insights Podcast, where we share insights and stories from community experts to stay up to date in Microsoft. Today, we'll dive into Fabric IQ, especially with the integration with Microsoft Foundry with guest Suri. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Nicholas. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity, first of all. My name is Navyasree Potluri. You can call me Sri, and I'm working as a senior solution engineer in Microsoft in a data platform. So, yeah, here to just talk about what is this IQ about the Fabric data agents, the AI within the Fabric, and explore a bit more.
Okay, so before we dive into the main topic of Fabric IQ, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, like what you do at Microsoft and your
Um,
day to day?
In my day to day, and no day is the same, to be honest, to start
Yeah, that's
with.
typical.
Yeah, it all depends upon, at the end of the day, my job role is to support the customers and advise them to take the correct architectural decisions so that in the long term they would benefit from the technology rather than because at this point of time, most of my clients, what I would say is there is a lot of data silos, a lot of integrations, those are all things are going on. And whether we like it or not, by 2028, there will be 1 billion of agents in the workforce. So I would help my customers to, with that in vision, how are we going to efficiently re-architect the existing architectures and make sure that we are ready for the future and we are enabled, the whole solution is AI enabled.
Okay, yeah. So which pretty much that like direct customers to have an AI like agentic AI solutions with the sector that you're doing, the industry.
Oh yes, yes, I work with industry, so I work in water and utilities industry.
Yeah.
So I work with all the customers across the water industry in the UK. And apart from that, there are other projects that I take uh, part as well, but I can't mention it because of NDA.
Yeah. No worries. Do you find there is a lot of customers in terms that want data, even though data is kind of like AI with integration with Foundry?
Uh, well, everybody want AI, like including you and me. If we
Yeah.
can, if we can get our hands on where an AI agent is able to assist us, why not? But again, the question goes back to, and I think this AI is actually letting the customers to reflect on what their data vertical is looking like at the moment. Because at the end of the day, AI is not a magic wand. That is what I keep on telling my customers. AI is not a magic wand. If there is garbage coming in to your data estate, the AI agents will give garbage. So it's garbage in, garbage out. That policy will not change. But because we want to get that efficiency from AI, what we are trying to do is how are we going to, guardrails my data estate? How
Yeah.
am I going to make sure that my data quality is much better? And how can I take that baby steps towards the AI? Like at to start with, nobody can go with like I'm completely AI enabled company. No, like
Mm.
we need to start taking the important requirements or the important bottlenecks, which would answer 80% of the questions, and then start building there. And once it is AI, not everybody are comfortable, not everybody trust AI so much. So when we ground the AI into the solution properly, we tell it where to search, what are the tables, what is the context, what is all the ontology semantically is looking like, then AI would start having benefit. And once you start working with it and get familiarized with it, then we would be moving from one pillar to another. And that is how we gradually grow and turn into an AI enabled company. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that is what my customers come in, and we try to identify that one thing which would actually help them, see the AI enabled in a totally different perspective to get more out of it, I would say.
Yeah. And one of the feature AI feature that we're going to discuss today is Fabric IQ. So
Mm-hmm.
for those who don't know what it is, what's FabricIQ in a nutshell?
Uh, FabricIQ, talking in a very layman terminology, is more like talking with your data.
Yeah.
But what we can do is, so anybody who's working in data industry would know how our data mainly looks like. So structural. So when you talk about structures, we do have IDs, we do have the primary keys, secondary keys, and etc. So when I write a select query, for example, what happens is like select star from so and so orders, and it will tell order number 123 is ready for shipped. But does I mean, even if I put an AI on top of it, it doesn't make sense to you and me because we don't know what order 123 is, or where it
Yeah.
is, or who is the customer, or who is the, source, and who is the end customer. We don't know anything about it. We are getting an answer, but it is not making any sense. So what we are trying to do with this Fabric agents, which would be, getting the information from the ontologies. Ontologies is again a whole different part. Ontology, in a simple term, to let you know, is giving context to that select star from orders. That means that this ontology is the one which would tell order 123 is nothing but, for example, a book that has been ordered and
Yeah.
so on, so date, and is going to so and so
Yeah,
customer.
because your index can be a key in database,
Yes,
and then you'll be giving the key your top context. So
yes.
that okay,
Um,
okay, and then you can use it Fabric IQ with Foundry, Microsoft Foundry. So when you integrate it, is there any challenges or things that you found?
um, Now, if you could see Microsoft and the products that it is releasing, you could see
Yeah,
that more and more products are coming into Fabric. And any other products that we are developing in a sense of how it is going to get integrated into the Fabric. So Foundry has a very, very close integration. So if you open a Foundry portal and try to create an agent, in that agents list, you have a option called connect to Fabric Data Agent, which you have
yeah,
created in Fabric Data Agents. Again, in Fabric Data Agents, we do have two types of data agents. One is in preview, I think, or it would be GA soon. So the one is Fabric Data Agent, and another one is Operations Agent. So data agent is more like, as I said, talking to your data, but with the help of context, you would be able to understand what your data is trying to do in a layman terminology, the end user
yeah.
able to understand.
Okay, I
But
think that data agent might be quite new because I haven't seen that in the portal. So I saw Fabric IQ in the Foundry Oracle portal. So
is it?
i-
So uh,
is it the Fabric portal or is it
yes, it's in the
okay?
Fabric portal. I
Yeah,
can
I
I
only
can
see the Foundry portal. Okay, so I take it that's quite relatively new. Is there
okay.
any particular updates? Uh,
The Fabric Data Agent.
yeah,
Um, so as I said, the Fabric Data Agent is talking with your data, so you can connect the data agent to the Lakehouse, to the
yeah,
Event House. So, for example, when we are going back to the same example that I've given, select star from order 123. Let's say that the order 123 is event series data that is coming, and that is coming into the event house. So we won't have any context data because it is telling certain order is being raised and going on. And we would have this context data in real time world or real time scenarios. You would have it as a main product list, which is sitting in your SQL data warehouse or the data warehouse. Or
yeah,
for demo purposes, you would have as a spreadsheet or a main big Excel sheet, which you would be uploading into your lakehouse. So you would connect the lakehouse, the data warehouse, the event house, and get whatever data you need, and then you create a data agent out of it. So Fabric IQ, when you talk about Fabric IQ in turn have the data agent and the operations agent in it. So there are two agents which are in turn making that FabricIQ in the IQ intelligence layer.
Okay. Have you got a demo? Perhaps you can show
Oh
on
yes,
on those agents.
let me share my screen.
All right, I can bring it up.
So let me go back to, or maybe I'll show you how to
So
use
this
it.
is Fabric. Yeah.
Yes, this is a Fabric portal, and this is a workspace that I've created. And if you want to create a, for example, a data agent, what I would do is I would click new, and then here, let's type agent. As I said, there are two agents, and what I'm trying to do is a data agent. So when you click on data agent, it would ask for the name first. So I would give it test for now. And then when I create that, what it does ask is, what are the data sources that you want to add? Like there is no data that is set up at the moment.
Yeah, and you can put in anything like CSV and Excel, PDF as data source.
Yes. So when I click on add data, you do have different capabilities. You can add Azure AI search functionality on it as well, but
Yeah.
let's go to the data source. And when I click on data source, look at what it is actually showing me. I can click on I don't have a data warehouse in my demo environment, and that's the reason data warehouse is not listed. You could see that there is a KQL database, and you can see that there is a lake house, and you could also see that there is a semantic model. So you can get the data from wherever you want to. And if I just take the semantic model and then click next, it will try to validate and it will create an agent. And the beautiful thing about this agent that I really love personally is, so these agents are really helpful for CXO level people, like who are really in senior
Yeah, I
management.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, and they really do not need to log in into Fabric to access this data agent, because I can actually publish this into the Copilot Studio.
Okay.
So when a senior stakeholder is having a question, he can talk with the data agent within the teams.
Nice.
So before, what it used to happen is, like, if you have a question, if a senior CXO level have a question, they would come to their, after the meeting, they would come to their next directs and tell that this is a question I have been asked, could you please go ahead and answer that, or get an answer for me? And then that goes to the dev team, and then they would take 1 or 2 days, and then they go back. And by the time it reaches to CXO level again, they already have another 3 or 4 questions. But with
Yeah.
this data agent being integrated into their teams, what happens now is they can ask the question to the data itself directly while they're in the meeting. So for example, if they want, for my water industry, if they want to know what is the last incident and where it has happened, they can type in, like, what is the last incident, how much does it cost the company? Like, they really do not need to
Yeah.
wait for anybody else. And they would
I'm
be, yes.
so I'm curious whether you can still integrate this with in like Microsoft 365 like Copilot instead of like Copilot Studio, because that need a license, that require a license for to use it.
It would need the licenses,
Yeah.
the Microsoft 365 Copilot licenses that it needs. Uh, but once you have those licenses, you would be able to access these into a direct integration into your, you know, Teams, Microsoft Teams. So
Okay.
into the name, or that you can grant permissions, you can share the people, and then we can test. We can just check, you know, once you select the data that you are, you can
Yeah.
test the data and click on
So
it.
do
And
you know whether,
I haven't trained this. I have just
yeah,
created this in front of you. Go on with the question.
sorry, do you know if this is using Ragger in Fabric, or do you just it's just like a chatbot thing, this agent?
This is more like a chat box
Yeah.
where you test your agent and do it. But the wonderful thing that I like about it is it doesn't throw you an answer without showing how it has got to that answer. So
Okay.
in data environments, we do have this capabilities, or we, this is a very general scenario where we have orders underscore test, orders
Yeah.
underscore test 2025. So that is how usually our databases look like, because we do not, we keep on creating different tables just to make sure that we have the change management or some testing or some a big change is coming, we have those versions. So when we do this, it actually shows the information, the key trends, and it also shows from where it has got the data. So what happens is, like, when you know that it is pointing to a wrong data, you can actually go and test, and then you can tell that this is not the right table, but we have to do. So we can add the data more. We can add tools. We can use user data functions. We can have a code interpreter. So if you don't know KQL maybe, and you are working with KQL databases, and you have a SQL equivalent of it, you could use a code interpreter and tell, like, turn that into a KQL when you're going to the database to pick it up. Build an agent, we would be build agent with AI. We can do that. We can test the data agent, which is what we are doing. And here is where the data agent instructions are. So you would create an agent, you would give it instructions telling that maybe this is a water triage. If I'm creating for a customer, um, or calls, handle the customer calls, and I can create a triage one, and I would tell, if the level one is there, you have to go this and search this SharePoint document and come back with what would be the next step. And if it is not an escalation one and a priority one, then you'd need to go to this particular people. So it gives you all those kind of things, and then you can publish them. And you would also be, if you could see that, whether you want this to be integrated and published to your Microsoft 365 as
Yeah.
well. So when you have this permissions, you would be able to publish it, and then you would be able to access this exact agent in your Microsoft 365 Copilot Studio, which means that you would be able to access it
Yeah.
as
So
everyday teams.
if you were to integrate this in Microsoft Foundry, you'll still need the Fabric, like for Fabric Agent or Fabric IQ installed, or in terms
There
of,
is no such thing as installation anywhere. It is more like once we go to the Foundry, maybe I have created or haven't created. I'm not really sure. Let me check if I have. Okay, this is a Foundry one
yeah,
which
because I
I have
remember a few
created.
weeks ago, I tried to create Fabric IQ in Foundry, but you
Mhm.
still need an instance like Fabric
Oh
license, those
yes,
things,
uh,
setup, workspace.
we do need the workspace instances. We do need the or if you're connecting to the lake house, we do need those user keys and
Okay.
everything, because we need the integration. But again, when you create a built-in agent, start building, this is a Foundry
Yeah.
portal. So I'll give test and then done. I mean, what happens is you have that integration to the Fabric, as I said, but within Fabric, where do you need to connect is what we need to tell, because
Okay.
Fabric is such a big thing. It can't directly, and again, in a real-time scenario, you might have at least more than one data agent.
Yeah.
So you need to know which data agent you need to connect to as well. So
Yeah.
I think it does have somewhere
I think it's
connect
on the
to
tools.
you.
If you click to yeah, if you click tools add, there should be a FabricIQ option under tools. Yeah, you should click on that and then add tools to the bottom. Just add more tools. No, yeah, just button it. Just click. There should be an option to add more tools. So scroll down. No,
This one.
yeah, yeah, and you
And
should
here
there
we do
should
have the
be
Fabric Data Agent. Yeah.
yeah. So there's FabricIQ. So how do they like secure the connection? Do they use managed identity or anything to connect it together, or just a seamless integration between Fabric and Microsoft Foundry?
Once you have the workspace ID and the artifact ID, it is as simple as like you create the connection, and
Okay.
everything is handled on the backend side. You really do not need to use your user account or password or anything else at all. So it is all service principal, where the connection that is going on between the Foundry and Fabric, etc. And that is how you would be able to create. So when I said we have close integration with Fabric, but you need to know what is an artifact that is connecting to. So if you're
Yeah.
creating a Fabric data agent, what is the artifact number? In which workspace is it there? So if I go back, I can't show you the Fabric ID anyway because of the security reasons. But this is the workspace that I have. And when you go
Yeah.
to the manage access or workspace settings, you would be able to get your artifacts or the IDs. So yeah,
Okay, so it's
and
securing
all
it
that.
using
So,
it's secure it using service principal. Does it use managed
yeah.
identity or is it just service principal?
Service principles at the moment. We
Yeah.
really do not need because it is happening everything by default, right? We are not touching anything. It's like the
Oh yeah,
integration
that's
is
true.
already there. We are just
Yeah.
giving the artifacts to connect to the correct workspace, so that it would be able to connect to the right data agent, because there might be multiple workspaces, and that is how it should be in any company. And then there might be different data agents, because even if for a very small company also we'll be having 3 workspaces: dev, test, and prod. So you would
Yeah.
be having different versions of data agents in each of them, right? So it would be connecting to those correct ones. But again, we could automate all these things with GitHub
Yeah.
when you're
Uh,
moving from
But
one environment to the
I
other.
guess they you use Fabric for the security, like you give the like whether someone a read only access for workspace, and then
Yes.
you just gave the agent in Foundry access that workspace that only have read access.
Oh, yes, it would only be read access, right? Because we don't want to give access to people, and that
Yeah.
within the teams, to to explore their emotions. It's like if they're
Okay.
having a bad day, they just don't want to play with the data. No, they would only be having a data read access. And also, we would also know who is reading the data from where, and what, using that data agent, what is that they have asked. So we have all that traceability and transparency, and that is what would make this product more viable and suitable for regulated companies as well.
Okay. It's what else? What other like future improvement do you see Fabric and Microsoft Foundry having? Like, is it more of a seamless integration, or is it just future, or more tools in
At,
Fabric?
at the end of the day, one thing what I would say is Fabric has been developed or is getting more and more features by making it ready as a go-to product for AI enablement that we
Yeah.
have. So all across the 7 verticals that we have Copilot enabled. So if somebody do not know KQL, as I said, they could take help of Copilot and turn that into a SQL query. And then You do have Rayfin, which has been recently released. Not sure if anybody has heard. It is a web app where you could create the front-end applications without moving out of Fabric. And it is a, SDK. It is all secured, governed.
Okay.
You have the lineage all across. So whatever technologies that we are getting into Fabric, we are making sure that it is built for the future, where your AI agents would be able to get the data in one place. And that is the reason that we have one lake integration with all the verticals and have data in one place. And then it is a to and fro with all the verticals. So you do have the by integration between KQL databases and one lake, data warehouse in one lake, the ADL is in one lake. So we are also making sure that, you know, the Fabric is not only developed for only low code or pro code, it's more like you have everything. If you want to go as a pure pro code person and create Python packages, you can go there. If you want, low code, you don't want any code at all, you have that capability as well. No, I don't want any of this. I want to go and write my own old SQL queries. You do have that as well. So the main agenda of Fabric is to bring the people closer together from within the organization, where
Yeah.
a data analyst really do not need to depend on a data engineer or a data scientist to do what he wants.
Yeah.
It is turning into a self-service product.
Okay. So everything, all different like one leg analytics tools for data will be built on top of Fabric itself. So like for example, Fabric would have one leg, same the features as one leg. So each of the tools, separate tools, will, it won't be needed because Fabric will be more centralized tool.
Exactly, like you would understand because I have done uh, part of my career as data engineer as well. And what we had, the biggest problem was maintaining those integrations between the products, right? And some security patch failed, or some update has not found, or a key has expired in the key vault.
Yeah.
And this all happens when we go on a holiday. And on Monday morning when we come in, it's like the huge blur. It's like, Sri,
Just
where are you? And it's
rotate.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, where are
un-
you? The jobs are failing and all
unless you
that.
find a way to rotate the key. So
Yeah. But
yeah,
again, for you to realize that a key has failed and you have to rotate a key, how much of your time is gone looking for that and answering 10 minutes every 10 minutes to your boss telling that, oh, I'm on it, I'm on it, I'm on it. This is what I've seen in the last 10 minutes because lived I have lived in the day. I know that day how it sounds. It's like my CTO used to call in from my previous organizations and it was like, Sri, the whole data platform is gone. And it's like, what have you done? It's like, I have not done anything. There is a security patch up, or there is
yeah,
a source issue, or something which is not at all included in my pipelines whatsoever. So, all those hard work, the integrations, the maintenance, the backend stuff has been taken
yeah,
out now, right? So, the fabric is doing all that hard work for you to think and create efficient solutions. So I think that is where we are looking forward to, where people has to put their heads in where they should be rather than maintenance admin staff. You need to you have to focus on the solutions. You have to focus on creating new ideas, better ideas, creating efficiency within the company, and etc.
okay. What other features do you think you would like to have in Fabric? Is it more about integration between other tools?
Uh, Integration is more or less we are getting there. As you know, we do have databases, data warehouse, data science, data factory. We do have IQ. We do have Rayfin. We do have Power BI. So if you ask me to create an end-to-end solution, I can create an end-to-end solution with Fabric itself. Um, we are working very solely on integration with the GitHub as well, GitHub Copilot. So that is enabling us to deploy. between different test environments very efficiently and successfully, and making sure that everybody have time and they invest themselves on learning new technologies and how to behave with AI. And another thing that we are really focusing is like when we are creating the whole solution as AI, we're also making sure that it is secured, it is governed, and it has the safety guards. So even before one advice that I would give to anybody out there is like, if you're playing with AI, first know what are the boundaries, what are the safe rules, what are the safe checks that you need to do, and then start creating the solution. Because if you don't understand how your agent is going to play, I think in the previous years we have news like, AI agent is showing the data it shouldn't be showing. And it's like, well, the problem is not the AI agent. It is just exposing the security loopholes or the security blind spots that you had within the company. So when you are creating an AI agent, try to start small, try to, continuously monitor it and continuously monitor it, because AI agent, it can be right 10 times, but it can be wrong on the 11th time. So it's really important that we make sure that we are checking it, we are progressing along with it, and make sure that we work in collaboration rather than, give it a task and forget about it. And then it sends some email at which you are not aware. So just make sure that what your agent is doing, why it is doing. And the first question is like, do you really need an agent? If it is 1 minute task, maybe you don't. But if it is very repetitive admin kind of task, then start creating efficient solutions around it.
Yeah, it's similar like for us, like for me, I use Copilot a lot. So whether it's using custom agent in Copilot or agent skills to minimize token and improve your efficiently. So it's very similar to how you think you're heading for Fabric. So
Mm.
for like, yeah, if I were to like compare that against Git Copilot app, it's quite similar because Git Copilot app is pretty like a centralized developer tools for each for GitHub itself. While you want the future, what you think Fabric will be, it's like similar to it, but it's Fabric will be the place for all the tools features.
Yes, and we can add skills to the fabric as well. So based on your day-to-day job, where you would work more, you can go ahead and start creating skills. You can create
Yeah.
organizational skills, team skills, and individual skills as well, which would, take out a lot of heavy lift from you, especially the admin side of things, and it would let you focus on your job rather than, worrying about all the heavy lift that you need to do on day-to-day basis.
Okay. Is there anything that's new in Fabric or in a data side that people need to be aware of that
Um,
recently?
I-
I know Rayfane, but then that's last month. That's in June.
we are having loads and loads of new features that are coming in. Uh,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
actually declare
Yeah.
a new
So it's
product
like GUI,
in
like interface.
here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine. Like
yeah, we
interface.
are having. Yes, but one thing I could tell you is like we have talked about data agents, but we haven't talked about operations agent. So data agent, in a simple layman terminology, is it will give what you asked for, right? And
Yeah.
operations agent, it would monitor the data that is coming in, and it would go ahead one step forward and do the next thing for you. So for example, if you're looking at the telemetry data that is coming in and it finds a anomaly, like the data is not looking right, what it
Yeah.
does, it would, as soon as it's seen the data, it sends an email or a team request or raise a ticket in the service now telling that, the data isn't looking as normal as it should be. Go and check. So it would go ahead,
Okay.
monitor your data, take one step forward, and do that escalation for you as well. So you
Okay.
really do not
So
need to, if, yeah.
it's similar to like a multi-agent in Foundry, but that operation will do the action that you want for the data agent to do.
Oh, yes. And we do have the data activators as well. I'm not really sure whether anybody has played around as well. So data activators are like triggers. So if for example, in the water industry, we look at the pipes, right? The pipes
Yeah.
maintenance and etc. So, for example, if the water pressure is more than 10, let's say, then it has to send an alert to a maintenance board telling that the pressure is getting high and the pipe might burst. So the maintenance people should be aware of it. So when we know these numbers, these thresholds, how do we handle is we handle it through the data activators. So data activators is an other feature within the Fabric. So I would ask you to go ahead, open the Fabric portal and start clicking everything and then see, there are loads and loads of features, and it is ever growing platform as well. So we are having new features, releasing every day, every month, and in all the events. So start going ahead and start playing around. If anybody have anything to do with logs or audits or anything, they need to go ahead and start looking at RTI, I would say.
What's RTI?
Real-time intelligence,
Okay.
which is in the event house. So
Yeah.
a real-time intelligence is a scenario where we would create event streams, event houses, which I've showed. So we do have the event streams, event houses, and then we can create real-time dashboards on them. It's like if you ask me,
So, it, no worries. Is there any last minute things that you want to say to everyone, like advice?
yeah, the only advice I would give you is go ahead, start the Fabric trial, and then start working on the solutions. Uh, there are free sample databases that are connected within the Fabric as well. So utilize them. You really do not need a sample database as well to play around. You do have sample databases within the Fabric platform. So utilize them and then go and experiment. The best way of learning is experimenting and learning what the platform is to offer. And once you know the capabilities, you would be able to, align with your day-to-day life and think that, okay, this might be helpful or this might be useful, kind of it. So continuous learning is one thing that I would advise anyone.
Yeah. Is there any particular resource that someone need to look at?
Microsoft Learn. I
Yeah, of
myself
course.
use, and
Yeah.
please go ahead and keep killing it. So just go
Yeah.
ahead for every stage, for everybody. We do have Microsoft learning parts. So please go ahead and explore them and get used to it as much as possible.
Yeah, totally. And occasionally Microsoft does data workshop, so you can
Mm-hmm.
take part of it, which is quite good. Like hackathon.
Yes.
So yeah, it's quite
Hackathons,
good,
and then
right?
we do have events like Fabric in a Day, kind of it as well, where we would be having in the events page, I think. If you have that event, please go ahead and subscribe yourself, because you would learn a lot about Fabric in that one day, and then you would be
Okay,
like
no
coming
worries.
back with 100 questions, and that is what we want, so that you would go ahead and start answering one by one, and that is how you learn the Fabric, right?
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
Yeah.
no worries. Thanks a lot for coming this episode, Siri. So, do you have anything that you love to do in your spare time? So we always love to next to know our guests.
Well, I have a 4.5-year-old. Where is the spare time?
So, do you have any hobbies or
I love reading books when he's asleep. Like, yeah, just reading
type
books.
book or just data book
Uh,
or just
it
normal
depends
different
upon
books?
it depends upon whether I have an important call with a client next day. If it is an important call with
Uh,
client, then it's a tech
yeah.
book. If not,
Okay.
generally generally it's a normal books. I more into non-fictional, so I would just go ahead
Okay.
and pick one book. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good thing. Yeah, and also you can do I think audiobook, which is quite cool as well. So when you just listen to audio, it's different, but I know physical book is different from
Yeah,
audio.
I'm not into audiobooks, I think, because of all the noise that keeps on happening around here. It's like I can't. I
Yeah.
need peace.
Okay, no worries. Thanks for coming this episode, Sari. So hopefully everyone know the importance of Fabric IQ and how to stay ahead, and we try and make central place for all the Fabric tools. Is Fabric, Microsoft Fabric. Okay, no worries. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Nicholas, and sorry